Great. So, what do you make of this rhetoric coming from your colleagues in the lower chamber, calling supporters of the sitting president of the United States basically Klan members?
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. I think that the left has gotten used to throwing vitriol and hatred towards the right. The right doesn't respond because we stay on the high road. We talk about the issues that are important. And I think most Americans see through it. And the more that they talk in a disingenuous way, in a misleading way, the less credibility they have. At some point in time, though, if President if Vice President Biden becomes president of the United States, I think if he truly wants to unify, he needs to step forward and tell those in his party to stop the nonsense.
Since late May, early June, we've had billions of dollars of businesses destroyed. Even people's homes have been destroyed. Their livelihoods have been destroyed. City after city have, gone up in flames quite literally. And even past the election, we're still continuing to see this horrific violence, this rioting. And I know you recently put forward some legislation, proposed the BRICS Act. What can you tell us about that?
Sure. So what I've asked, actually, even before I introduced the BRICS Act, I sent a letter to the Attorney General Barr, and asked him to investigate the sources of funding for these riots, these arsons, the crime that's being committed in our cities. And I then introduced legislation, got a number of co-sponsors on the legislation that would increase the penalties for not only funding, but also the acts themselves. If it is politically motivated, if it is an act that is really designed to target one side of the political spectrum in the kind of rioting that's occurring. And we know this is interstate. We know that people are traveling from one part of the country to another to engage in these riots. Then the penalties for these riots would be enhanced. By the way, we don't have a single Democrat on that bill.
I was actually going to ask you about that. What has the response been from some of your colleagues? So not a single Democrat so far has joined you in this effort. Have you been getting enough help and backing from Republicans?
We've gotten a number of Republicans to join. We continue to work. Part of the problem is a lot of folks were gone during the weeks before the election, so it was more difficult to get co-sponsors. But we have gotten a number of Republican co-sponsors. I anticipate seeing a lot more Republican co-sponsors, but I do not believe that the Democrats want to take responsibility or even acknowledge the fact that their party, their side of the political spectrum, their radicals are the ones that are causing these problems. They have tried to run away from the position that they took earlier in the year of defunding the police. They have tried to run away from the position they took earlier in the year of promoting socialism through the Green New Deal and other pieces of legislation. And now they have an opportunity to at least tell Americans that they should be safe in their homes and in their businesses. And the response from the other side is crickets.
When it comes to that letter that you sent to the Department of Justice to Attorney General Bill Barr, have you heard much about that yet? Have you gotten any word back?
I have not, and I don't anticipate hearing back. When they conduct an investigation, it isn't something that they publicize. And so it's really a matter of asking them and letting them know that there are members of Congress who are watching and who care deeply about what happens in this country as it pertains to public safety. I think Attorney General Bill Barr is on the case, and I'm quite confident that he will move the process forward.
And that's good to hear, because when we look ahead to the future, even if Biden is the president come 2021, it doesn't seem like these riots are going to stop anytime soon. Do you think, looking ahead to the future, do you expect these riots to surpass even the Trump administration and to continue into a hypothetical Biden administration?
It's a great question. I think part of the strategy was to try to show that President Trump could not govern, that there was this uneasy feeling and discontent in the country. And so that was the purpose of conducting these riots. It was a very well orchestrated, planned move. So in that sense, I wouldn't expect to see them under if there is a President-elect Biden. However, I think that President-elect Biden, in trying to put an administration together, is going to trigger the left once again, because he won't have moved far enough left for the socialists, for the anarchists. And so they may very well start the riots all over again. It'll be interesting to see.